let's get it started. So as many of you probably already know, we have Yaz joining us today. For those that don't know, Yaz actually used to be the co-chair last year. And she's just done great things ever since then. She's working at Rethink right now. And she just recently won the RGD scholarship, one of them. So big congrats to that as well. And I will just let her take it away.
And just a quick question. Are you coming to Vancouver?
Yeah.
Yay.
That's so exciting. Hooray.
Of course I'm coming. Yeah. I did not, nobody told you? Sorry.
No,
Rebecca?
nobody told me. Nobody tells me anything. That's so exciting. Yay.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Okay. I'm
Me
sorry.
too.
I had to be excited.
No, I'm also very happy to see you, Hillary. I missed you so much. So this is great. Let me get this. Tell me if you can see this. It's gonna do. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So let's begin. Well, to be honest, I was trying to think about what would be the best topic to talk about for this meeting. And I thought since it's time for graduation, everyone's like done with school. So let's talk about the next steps after that. So how to find a design job without losing our minds and dignity. So with this, everyone's going to get a job after this presentation, but no, not saying that this is going to give you 100% jobs, but I'm really hoping that this helps you inspire and get motivated to start your career path and your next steps. So before I get into it, I just wanted to introduce myself to some of you that don't know me. I'm Yaz. Yaz, nice to meet you all. I'm very happy to be here. I once was at your position here in the student committee and would always take notes in these calls because it was so exciting. And I'm glad I can come and share my journey and give you some tips and tricks. So let's start. I was born in Iran at 1998. It was a country full of cultural beauty and art. So naturally, I was really fascinated with patterns and calligraphy, but I was also a geek. So I loved to learn new things. That's why during high school, I studied like robotics and computer programming, and I was like competing for 5 years. And luckily, after finishing school, I actually hired as a teacher for younger kids. So it was really fun. And this was exactly the same time that I also got into university for architecture. So I was doing a lot of different things. I loved coding and I loved design and architecture. So that led me to learn something about web design and UI UX. And I got so excited because I thought that's how my skills are kind of combining together. And that led me to, after 2 years, decide to come to Canada. I knew that I'm not growing as much in my own country and women don't have freedom to reach their potential. So I decided to come here as an international student, and it was challenging, but I definitely had like bigger goals in mind. Starting to learn graphic design at George Brown. If George Brown people are in this call, you know me. It's like a 3-year program, and it really made me fall in love with the vast field of design. And it was great because school really helped me find a lot of connections, and I got my first internship through it because it was a requirement elective. And it was at Underline Studio. I was able to reach out to Fidel Pena, one of the George Brown alumni, and I did a full-time internship for a month. It was a great experience and really made me fall in love with design.
Да, слушай, да, PDF chatли.
Somebody needs to mute themselves. I don't know who it is. I don't know if I can. Yeah, anyways, so after my internship, I I've got a job at RGD, but before I get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about my involvement with RGD in general. As I said, I was in the student committee. I can't really remember how I actually got into the committee, to be honest, but from the beginning, I was really active. I knew that this is where I'm going to shine, be a representative for students in our schools. So on the second year of being in the committee, I volunteered to be the co-chair, and I was just really involved with the community. And from there, I designed the second Hey RGD campaign, trying to help the students follow that as well. And I was in the board meetings, lots of new connections, and I also joined the educational committee too. So all of them, all these experiences were really rewarding. And going on back on track, yeah, I just got my first job. I was almost graduating. So when I got this email from Hillary, I was shocked, and I was over the moon, proud, because starting a job right after graduation without even applying, because that was the time that everyone was sort of going through their portfolios, trying to find jobs to apply. So it was a big moment for me to work at RGD. And I honestly really loved it. It was great. But after a couple of months, I did get another job offer from the brand factory. This was, I got this job through my work that I presented in my thesis project in our grad show. And as much as I loved working in-house for RGD, I knew that if I work in a studio environment, I might grow as a junior designer a little bit more. And I honestly needed to save up money, and they were offering a lot of money. So I was like, okay, living in downtown is not too cheap. Like, so let's move forward to that. Then again, not gonna lie, after 2 months, exactly the same period, I got another job offer from Underline, and back then it was really my dream job to work there. And based on the experience that I had in my internship, I really wanted to go. Everything was going super well, but again, after a couple of months, I got another job offer from Rethink. Interesting enough, they actually found me through student awards. They mentioned that they saw my work in RGD, Applied Arts, and got my contact information through LinkedIn. So a lot of different ways of getting all these jobs, but Rethink was great. I looked at their work. They won the Best Advertising and Design Agency of the Year. So I was really intrigued with their work. And I've been working here like for 6 months, going pretty well. They also designed the RGD Branding Awards. If you haven't got a chance to see it, please do check it out. It's awesome. Yeah, so enough about me. Let's get into the presentation. How to not lose our minds when you want to find a job. First is knowing your values. So this is something that I learned in our professional practice class. This is, till this day, I still use this when I'm not sure and confused about what I want to do. What it means is basically knowing yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, and priorities. The important thing is also keep in mind is that these can change throughout the time, but don't be surprised about it. It's all normal to want different things in your career. So there are 3 things to think about when you want to prioritize when you want to find a job, which is, do you crave creativity, work-life balance, and money? And honestly, no shame in wanting money, because that was me for a long time. But imagine this balanced triangle and use it to see your values, how they interact with each other, and where you might need to compromise. So figure out what is the thing that you absolutely don't want to budge, and what is something that you want to be more flexible about. The key is basically to stay true to your core values and keeping an open mind. For example, when I started my career, I really cared about work-life balance because I was really overwhelmed with school and thesis, and I just wanted to take some time to like have a nice life. So it was like thesis, money, and then the least part was creativity, which, not gonna lie, within a few months, it completely changed for me. So keep this in mind, take your time, and every time you get to this point that don't know what to do, refer back to this triangle. It's really gonna help you. And as the great designer Paula Scher says, it's through mistakes that you can actually grow. So don't be afraid of taking those risks and explore new possibilities. Number two, after you decide what those values are, the second important thing is your goals. You need to set certain goals to be able to be aligned with the career that is aligned with your values. For example, asking yourself questions like, what type of work environment suits me? Do I prefer a fast-paced, high-energy atmosphere, or do I prefer a quiet, focused environment? Do I work best with teams? Do I work best independently? So see which one of these work environments bring the best out of you. The next one is to think about what skills and experiences do you want to gain? Are you looking to specialize in a particular area of design? Do you want to broaden your skill set? So consider these skills and experiences that can help you achieve your long-term goals. And the next one is think about, why are these goals important to you? It's important to think about what motivates you and what you hope to achieve in your career. Understanding why this can help you can kind of like make you more focused and motivated when you're finding those jobs. And lastly, how these goals are aligned with your values and needs. You have to kind of use these goals to filter out those jobs that aren't a good fit and focus on the ones that are aligned with you. For example, if work-life balance is important to you, prioritize jobs that offer flexible schedules or remote working options. Another great quote from Meg Lewis, design your dream career before you design your dream project. It's important to have a clear understanding of your goals, and it really helps you narrow down that job research, and you can target the companies that you're more aligned with. The third one is my all-time favorite, using your network, creating as many connections and reaching out to those connections if you need to. Networking is crucial part of finding any job in any industry. And it means that you can reach out to friends, professionals, professors, alumni, any connections through RGD, or even if you find someone on LinkedIn. There's unlimited possibilities, and people in Canada are genuinely nice, and they don't mind like having a quick coffee chat with you, to be honest. It's always a bonus. So, and another important thing is attend conferences, you guys. Design Thinkers is in the corner. So I'm attending and I'm super excited to meet more people, but you always really meet great designers, and you'll never know. You might get things that you're not even ready for. So, and another quote from Michael Beirut, he said this, it's a little bit too much, but he says that you will never get a job from a resume, you will only get it through a referral, which is totally true. It might be true most of the time, 70% maybe, but at the same time, for the rest of it, for the 30%, it's still very important to tailor what you're pitching. I mean, your application, when you apply for jobs. You might say, personalizing my resume for every job, that's insane. I don't have time and energy to do this, but the reality is that you should. That's the only way that you can show that you've done your research, and it's important to customize your resume, portfolio, cover letter for each design company that you apply to, even if you don't have to like take a lot of time, but just a little time to personalize it a little bit more for that company. It shows that you care about them and you took the time to research the company and their needs. And you can also highlight your experiences and skills to increase your chances of getting hired. So if a company, for example, does packaging most of the time, you want to showcase those skills that they're looking for. So this really makes you ultimately stand out and stand out from all those like boring and generic applications, because honestly, today's job market, you got to do what it takes to be noticed for them. Lastly, number 5 is to be patient. It's hard, I know, but it's important. We all sometimes feel like throwing our computers away, but we shouldn't, because it's very expensive, but also there are other ways to do it. But we need to try to be patient and not give up. It's finding the right job for you. It's not easy, and it definitely takes time, but look, don't let that discourage you, because sometimes you don't hear back from the companies. So give it some time, send a friendly follow-up in a week or two, and just to trust the process. The right job is out there for you. It will come. And obviously, especially you folks, I have no doubt, because you're already here in this student committee. So I know you have passion to be being part of something bigger. And that's basically the first step that not everyone takes. So you're going to be fine. And lastly, stay positive. Believe in yourself. Some companies might not actually get back to you after you even do the follow-up email, but please don't let that stop you. Stay motivated and positive, and take breaks. Do a lot of self-care, and remember, rejection is a normal part of any job process. If you do these things, hopefully you don't lose your mind and dignity, and you stay focused on your goals. And I'm just adding this because this is how I am, and I keep reminding myself not to. But if you're going to any of these grad shows and seeing other people's work, don't feel depressed and lose your confidence. Instead, get inspired, motivated, and do this for the next project. And I'm going to end this presentation with this lovely quote from a designer and illustrator, Louise Philly. She once said, "Believe in yourself and your abilities, work hard, stay positive, and never give up." So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. And if you like to connect, or you have more questions that you want to talk in private, want to have a coffee chat, I'm always happy to help, and feel free to reach out. Yeah, and any questions? Yeah, let me know. I'm gonna exit how can I stop sharing?
Thank you so much for sharing that. It was very insightful and a perfect presentation for this time of year.